so we've got a bunch of questions here that you've asked us, and so we're going to divide them up between each other. I'm going to time us so we don't rabbit on for too long. All right. How do you respond to people that say you don't belong here?
I mean, it's really difficult to respond to people like that. I think it's really difficult. Firstly, I think I'd say, who are you to say that we don't belong here? Who are you to say that? I think that's really unfair. And I think that I think that every person deserves to belong somewhere. And I think every person deserves a chance to belong. That's what every human is looking for and searching for.
And trans people belong everywhere.
Yes.
Belong everywhere.
Yeah.
So, but it is difficult, I think, when people don't say it, but they make you feel it. It's the vibe.
Yeah.
And that's really, really difficult to tackle. If I'm ever in that situation, I just don't want to be around people who don't want to be around me.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you want to?
Yeah.
But I think in terms of belonging, you belong everywhere. And when you feel that in yourself, I think you'll be able to tackle those situations a lot better too.
Yeah, and I just want to say as well, it's really difficult because I think this message of you don't belong, for me in my childhood, I internalized it and I started to believe it for a really long time, that I was making life difficult for other people by being myself. So it was very difficult, and it has taken a long time for me to get past that and grow beyond that. But it's also something that, you know, will keep coming back every now and again, and you just have to remind yourself that you do belong. It's a process.
If you knew forever, why did you wait to come out?
For me, I told my family almost straight away who I was, but I actually didn't tell my friends for a very long time. When I went to high school, no one knew that I was trans, and I didn't tell anyone for 2 years for a number of reasons. I had been bullied a lot in primary school, so I think my trust in other people was broken, and I was scared of being rejected, and I loved my friends, and I didn't want to lose them, which was again that internalized transphobia coming out. And also I just wanted people to get to know me, see me as at face value. And so yeah, I didn't tell my friends for 2 years, and then when I finally did tell them, it was lovely, and it was beautiful. But I also just want to say that it's different for different people, and in terms of that, if you knew from the beginning, not everyone knows who they are from the very beginning. Some people it takes a while to find themselves, and it's okay to take time to explore who you are. You don't have to know straight away. It's different for everyone.
That's right. How do you feel safe?
I personally feel safe when I talk about what I'm going through with my family, with Mum specifically. I am very grateful to have a family who is supportive of me, and I feel safety when I'm with my family. I also feel safe when I am kind to myself too, and that's something that I've struggled with for a long time. But I feel safe when I look after myself, when I'm kind to myself. But for trans people, that shouldn't be our responsibility. Our schools, our society should be made safe for us, and that's not a burden that we should have to carry.
Yeah. That's really true.
It's really difficult to feel safe, and the honest truth is our society often isn't safe for us, and our society isn't structured in a way that really fully supports us, and that's terrible. So the safety of trans young people, I think, that responsibility, that burden should be on the family, should be on other people. Our world should be made safe for us. We shouldn't have to make ourselves safe. If that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. Yeah. Do I have to come out? That kind of ties into the question of if you knew forever, why did you wait to come out? The two kind of interlinked.
No, you don't have to come out. You don't have to come out. That's your choice. That's your choice. It's no one else's choice to make. And you could be really, really happy and content in yourself and proud of yourself, and you still don't have to come out because it's no one else's business.
That's right. And if I could give a parent perspective too, I think it's difficult for parents and carers sometimes to understand that their child's story is not theirs to tell either. So it's really important that you don't out your child if they don't want to be. And it's your responsibility to protect them in any new situation or at family gatherings, all of those sorts of things. So that's another thing. The people around a transgender, diverse or non-binary person shouldn't be outing them. It's our children's story to tell. What if I'm not strong enough?
You can be afraid and you can feel tired and like you can't go on any further and still be an incredibly strong person. Just being who you are takes strength. Just acknowledging that in yourself takes strength. And I don't want you to feel like there's something wrong with you, that you are not strong enough when people around you are making your life difficult. That is not your fault. That is not on you. You are not the problem. You are strong. And I know it's so difficult. I know it is so difficult. But you can get through it. You can make it to the other side. You are strong. And you are strong even when you don't feel it.
I think the word strong has this connotation that you need to be invincible, but that's not what strength is. Strength is flexibility. Strength is weeping. Strength is listening. Strength is being vulnerable. Strength is resting rather than quitting. Strength is asking for help. Strength is relying on friends and family. And strength is owning your story and your power. Georgie hasn't got to this point from being invincible. The opposite. What people don't see publicly, we know we've experienced times of real despair, of many, many tears, of wondering when the hard stuff is going to end and when the fun stuff is going to begin. We've been through that space a lot. And people like Georgie are are just like you, just like you. There's no difference. So we know that you can be strong enough because we have been through it too. And look after yourself, prioritize yourself, acknowledge when things are getting too tough, and ask for help. And that is being strong enough. And the same goes for parents as well. You've got to look after yourselves as well and ask for help when you need it. Reach out to peer support networks like Transcend, you know, the old saying, a problem shared is a problem halved. And I think that's really, really true in this case. What agencies or places did you seek help?
I went to the Royal Children's Hospital. At the time when I first presented, there wasn't a gender service, but a lot of the people who supported me back a decade ago are now part of the Royal Children's Hospital Gender Service, and that is a really incredible service, and really helped me get through a lot of the really difficult things, and helped give me access to the medical services that I needed. So they're really good.
There wasn't like
much out there.
There wasn't very much around at that point in time, which is why I founded Transcend, so that there would be something for families who are supporting their kids. We needed good information and we needed it quick, smart. So there are those things, but and the community that we've created through Transcend and through the Royal Children's Hospital and so on, they keep us going, I think, don't they? We've met lifelong friends, and Georgie, I'm sure you're going to be in touch with a lot of the young people who have been connected with Transcend over the years forever. We're always going to be interested in how one another gets on in the world and cheering each other on. How do you build resilience around negativity? We've kind of covered that a bit in the other questions, haven't we?
Yeah, that's really difficult. It's hard to do that.
Practice.
I suppose.
I think is a good answer to that.
And also it's a process as well. I mean, I have definitely become more resilient over time, but there are always going to be times where I break down and I collapse and I feel like I can't go any further. And I still feel that. So it is a process. It really is a process. But I think over time you'll build resilience, I suppose.
Yes. And also, if you think about it this way, there's actually at no point in time that anyone should be okay with transphobia, like to be able to cope with that. Like there's no time ever that should be something that anyone should have to go, oh, water off a duck's back. That is unacceptable behaviour. It is unacceptable that you should be experiencing that. It is unacceptable that you should be subjected to that, and trying to develop a thick skin around discrimination is not the answer. So also ask yourself the question, if that's actually something you want to do, is to build resilience around that, build a community around that, and fight it. What if I'm not sure how to label myself?
I think we've also answered that slightly before. Give yourself space and time and be kind to yourself. I think you don't feel pressured to know who you are straight away. Give yourself time and space to explore that. And I know, again, that can be really difficult when other people are being horrible and impatient.
And society likes labels. We like to compartmentalize people.
Yeah, I think there are emerging public figures who have sort of removed themselves from those labels. Incredible people like Sam Smith, Zoe Tarakis, an incredible actor in Australia. Lots of different people, Janelle Monáe, around the world who are forging their own identities and expressing their gender in very unique and individual ways. So even get online and have a look at what other people are doing, you know, to possibly help you have a better understanding of yourself and see that other people are doing really incredible things and they don't label themselves or they're just them.
They're just them, and they do what pleases them.
And they do what pleases them, and I think that's so incredible. So yeah, looking at other people, I suppose, as well. Yeah.
We hope we've answered the questions in a helpful way and in an enlightening way. It's been an interesting little chat, actually.
Yeah.
So thank you for having us, and all the best.